question of whether something is positive or negative is a subjective question. The fact that something is positive, in our point of view, does not mean that it is positive for everybody. We see these with different cultures that we have in our world. All the more so, thank you. All the more so with extraterrestrials, where we don't know what they will interpret as something positive or as something negative. And since agree that we want to present ourselves in the most positive way possible, then we need to have a more inclusive view of humanity. I will have one point in my speech, which is basically why we need to have this inclusive, which is in direct engagement with opening opposition, why we need to have this inclusive, positive and negative portrayal that we see as positive and negative to send to space. But before that, I have a few points to make up. First of all, about this first date thing. Now, kind of discuss this a little bit. Some more balance. It depends on what you're looking for. And the fact that Don does debating may look at something positive to a very specific population, and it may seem very nerdy and nice, and it may seem very nerdy and awful to a specific kind of population. And therefore, you cannot possibly know what this person will think is positive. Maybe he thought it was positive. Maybe he thought he was presenting himself in the best way possible, and this girl just ran for the hills because that is not positive. I'm sorry. Okay. So the fact that we don't know how they're communicating and what they think is positive, it's exactly the same way. The fact that we have specific language and specific images and specific ways that they may not be able to perceive, there's really nothing we can do about it. This is what we have. We will give what we have. And this is exactly why we need to give both positive and negative images. The previous speaker said that it's really hard to misinterpret nice and fluffy things. And well, for you, for us, it is really hard to misinterpret fluffy things. But in some countries, where you come in for a handshake or when you bow, it sometimes is misinterpreted as something really disrespectful. And for us, it is really respectful to come by to a person and shake their hand. For other people, it looks threatening. And that is why, even in our world, it can be misinterpreted as something negative, and we don't know, especially with extraterrestrials. Yes?
Why do you think that the U.S. defines themselves by the rules in their constitution rather than the average of the things that happen within their society?
What?
Why do you think that the U.S. define their own identity by the things laid down in their constitution, their ideals, rather than what actually happens in their society?
Because that is what they strive to. But this is exactly my point. This is us as humanity. This is what we strive to as humanity. This is what we have decided, each country for their own and a bunch of countries together, that this is what we want. This is the values that we hold sacred and dear. I will get to this one. Okay, so, last point of rebuttal before I get to that. The point on history and space travel, and the fact that humanity has learned from its mistakes, and we keep doing that. First of all, exactly because history books are portrayed in a very specific view that is positive to that country, we do not learn from our mistake. The fact that there is still genocide, the fact that immigrants are being treated the way that they have been, the way that they are right now, and they have been the way that they're treated right now in Europe, and the fact that it keeps happening throughout history has just shown that we do not learn from our mistake, especially because this is our portrayal of history. We have a very positive view. We did good things. This is great. We ignore the bad things that happened, and then we don't learn from them. And this brings me to my point. Well, not already discussed this. This is sort of a diplomatic thing. This is a promotional thing. We want to present ourselves, and they agree with us in the best positive way that we see. Now, as I've already said, this message, this positive message, was chosen by a very specific group of people. Very probably white men, European, American, these people that think that they have done many wonderful things, and a lot of the people in the world disagree with them. And a lot of people in the world see that the things that were positive in their point of view is not necessarily that positive in the entire world perspective. Yes, before I continue.
Given that we needed an infoslide, that us in this room needed an infoslide to know what's written on the Voyager, do you think Africans actually know what's written there and it has any impact on their lives?
Well, the fact that extraterrestrials may land in Africa, because they don't always land in New York, as we all see in movies, this may be the first thing that they see. This may be what they see, and the fact that this is not portrayed is a problem because they do not know how to react to this. They do not know if this is a good thing, if this is a bad thing. We want to portray good things. We don't know. Maybe they think that genocide is a wonderful thing. Maybe they think that peace is a terrible thing. We do not know what they see as positive and as negative, and what they see as threatening and not threatening to them. And this is exactly why we need to give them all of the information in order for them to in order for them to make their own decision and see what is portrayed as a good thing. And the fact that they may be hostile, which is a point that came up earlier. Well, specifically because we do not know what they consider threatening. We do not know what they will think if we are hostile or not. They do not know if what we portray as positive is really positive in their point of view. This is exactly why maybe if we do just the positive thing, they will see this as a threat to them. We cannot possibly know, because us as humans, we cannot possibly imagine things that we do not know. That is why every portrayal of aliens in movies and in TV is somewhat related to either fish or people or whatever, because this is something that we know. And they speak a language that is something that we know. But maybe they don't speak language that we know. Maybe they don't have the same values that we do. And this is precisely why we can't even perceive someone thinking of something fluffy and lovey-dovey as something threatening, because it's so unperceivable for us. But maybe it is perceivable for them. And this is precisely why even the things that we see as negative is something that is crucial to send to that Voyager, because maybe that is exactly why they will see us as a positive thing. They will see us as a diplomatic partner, and therefore, because we don't really know, it's subjective, what is positive and what is negative, especially with extraterrestrials. And for all these reasons, we beg you